Hello everyone!
Hi!
So, today's video is going to be a little different as we felt that since it is October, and since within 10 days, Halloween 2018, or Halloween H40, or however people are calling it now, whatever they
David Gordon Green's and Danny McBride's Halloween, yeah.
Personally, I do really love Halloween H40 as a title. I mean, as much as Halloween
cool.
2018 makes sense,
Yeah.
H40 to me is just a nice harking back to H2O.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Man, I was 5 when H2O came out.
I remember that came out. I remember my mom watching it on demand.
Here we are 20 years later once again.
Yep. So we have decided to do this video and really discuss our thoughts on Halloween 2018, what we're excited for, what we're looking forward to, the biggest hopes and aspirations of what they won't do.
Yes.
Because Halloween took a turn with Halloween's part 5 and 6. Awkward Paul Rudd.
Moment of silence for that atrocity.
Okay, we've mourned long enough for that terrible movie.
Yes. Okay.
So, being one of the biggest Halloween fans that I know, aside from myself, oh, speaking of which, showing some Michael love and pride with this wonderful H2 pen that glows in the dark.
That's right.
Being one of the biggest Myers fans I know, what is one of your biggest hopes for 2018?
Well, I'm hoping more than anything that it's scary. It's as scary as the very first one was.
Oh yeah.
And that it's as thrilling and suspenseful, and that it adds it contains all the elements of one of the most influential horror films of all time. Halloween changed the game of the slasher film. Halloween and Psycho were the trendsetters, really.
Oh yeah.
And
for a film made in 28 days in 1977.
That's right. That's right. On a very limited budget.
Basically a shoestring budget at that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's blown up. Jamie Lee Curtis is still playing that role 40 years later, you know, and I think that's awesome.
And that's one of the wonderful things. I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but I think that's one of the wonderful things about 2018 is that apparently the script was so good that she came back even after being jaded about Resurrection.
Right.
Which, in all honesty, aside from the joy that is the awkward Buster Rhymes scenes, is a pretty terrible movie.
Michael Myers is a killer shark.
You're not Michael Myers. I'm Michael Myers. Get your ass back to the garage. What is a big don't that you are hoping they stick to?
The thing about the original Halloween was that there wasn't a whole lot of gore. There wasn't a whole lot of...
No, and yet it was...
A whole lot of blood and guts.
It was an extremely frightening film.
It really was.
It's probably one of the only slasher films that does not have an extraneous amount of blood and guts.
Exactly. I don't need to see heads being chopped off. I don't need to see all the, blood and gore. It's the unknown. It's what you don't see. They've marketed Halloween 2018 as sort of like an action film. In the sense that, Jamie Lee Curtis, she's ready for Michael, it's like, there's Michael, and it almost looks more like an action film than anything else, and
well,
I want to be scared sitting in my seat.
It is very much marketed as a Blumhouse horror film, which, The Conjuring was marketed the same way, and all that, but...
Looking at you, Jason Blum.
But the one thing I'm hoping for out of everything is they don't try to explain Michael. Because they kept trying to do that a lot in the later films.
They kept trying to humanize him.
Yeah, and he's just the pure, he's evil put into a human body. So out of seeing all of the trailers that have been released, what is your interpretation so far?
I would think, when I first heard about this and when I first started doing research into this film, and when I, because I was excited, and I jumped on it just like you did. I thought this was going to be it. I thought this was going to be the last one. They were finally going to kill Michael Myers, and it was going to be done. And Laurie Strode was going to come out on top like the badass that she is.
Mm-hmm.
But they're talking about how a sequel is not entirely out of the question here. About how a sequel is certainly possible if this movie does well, which, let's be honest, it will. I don't think they're going to kill Michael. I'm hoping that they leave it on a cliffhanger a little bit, kind of like the original Halloween did. This might be the start of a brand new franchise. It might pass on to Laurie Strode's daughter or granddaughter, or whatever.
Oh, the late great Donald Pleasence.
Yeah,
I heard they've got a really nice tribute for him in the film.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
One that apparently Carpenter was very impressed with. Yeah, since Pleasant's passing in '95, it's almost as if Laurie has taken on his mantle.
Yeah.
Taken his role.
A little bit.
Especially when it came to H2O, back when that was canonical.
Right, exactly.
She seemed very much like the Loomis character, and her son was in her place.
Well, and I remember thinking in H2O, God, Laurie Strode got prepared.
Yeah.
Look at her now.
I know. Oh my Lord!
She has a certified fortress. The whole town of Haddonfield knows about her.
She is Sarah Connor prepared.
I know it, and it's like, but there's almost. Why do you think Laurie Strode didn't move away?
So, okay, I'm really glad that you asked me this question, because I've been wanting to talk about this for a long while. She in the trailer, she's been talking about how she's been praying for this day for 40 years so she can finally
kill him.
Yeah. I think what they're going with is that Laurie was so shell-shocked by her experiences in H1 in 1978 that
40 years ago
she saw the evil that Michael was, understood the power that he wielded, I guess, and wanted to ensure that she was the only one who could stop him after Dr. Loomis went. Maybe they're going to explain that she and Loomis became very good friends, like how it was explained in Halloween 4, how almost, Loomis had a relationship with Laurie Strode post H2, or at least kept tabs on her, and such like that.
Sure.
So maybe they're going to explain that both Laurie and Loomis prepared themselves should it ever happen again.
It's part of the scare factor. Is this what's been on his mind for 4 decades?
But as I was talking to you earlier, off screen, what if it's just, it's 40 years later, and he feels that now is the perfect chance to finish what he started 40 years ago, and Laurie being there is just sort of a happenstance, a serendipitous moment.
Well, and that could be, and that might be even freaking scarier.
What really, on October 19th, what are you hoping to come out of the film with? Like, what is your
soiled jeans?
Yeah. That's your main expectation.
I mean, that's what I want. The amount that they've built this up, the amount of time that we've had, the suspense, better be worth it.
Yeah, because they could have easily done it last year.
Yeah.
But they waited until the 40th anniversary, which makes it even better.
Well, it sure does, yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you very much, John, for talking Halloween.
Thank you, sir.
Because it's always fun.
Always.
And we'll see you all in the next video when the two of us are together, which most likely will be our reaction of Halloween H40. Yeah. Maybe a day after, so it can all sink in and we can really compose our thoughts on what we just witnessed.